She was the most dangerous patient in the entire psychiatric hospital. The nurse only thought she wasn't eating enough, but when the nurse recommended a full meal, she got kicked to the floor. A male orderly stepped in to restrain her, but despite her frail appearance, it took 2 men to hold her down. She wasn't born this crazy. Not long ago, Needy was just an emotionally stable high school girl who looked like your typical honors student. She had a childhood friend who was completely different from her. Unlike Needy, Jennifer was a beautiful and spoiled cheerleader, always bored of small-town life and constantly dragging Needy into her quest for something cooler. After class one day, Jennifer invited Needy to go out. A new band was playing in a nearby town. Needy tried to say no, even mentioning that she had plans with her boyfriend, Chip, that night, but Jennifer always knew how to persuade her. Every time she insisted, Needy would give in. That night, Needy changed into what she thought was her most mature outfit. Chip wasn't happy not just because she canceled their date, but because he hated how Needy always obeyed Jennifer. Needy gave a small smile and said nothing, still choosing to go out with Jennifer. At the bar, Jennifer had a clear goal. She ignored boys her age, brushed off her ex who was now in police college, and set her sights solely on the band's lead singer. Needy tried to stop her, but Jennifer, as always, did whatever she wanted. The singer didn't mind her advances at all. They hit it off quickly, but when Jennifer stepped away to get drinks, Needy overheard the guys whispering about her. They were talking shamelessly about Jennifer, even speculating about her sex life. Outraged, Needy stormed over and yelled at them, lying that Jennifer was a virgin and telling them to back off. She walked away, unaware that the lead singer was exchanging a loaded glance with his bandmate. Jennifer came back, and Needy warned her not to get involved with those creeps. But Jennifer didn't care. Young and reckless, she figured they just wanted sex and she was perfectly fine with that. When the show started, she eagerly pushed to the front row. Everyone was absorbed by the performance, everyone except Needy, who had seen their true nature. She noticed flames erupt in the corner of the stage, crawling up the pillars and into the rafters until the bar caught fire. The fire spread quickly. People panicked and fled. Jennifer stood there in a daze, only running when Needy dragged her out. Outside, still shaken, they were suddenly approached by the lead singer again. He spoke gently, pretending to comfort Jennifer while getting her drunk. Then he led her toward his van. No matter how much Needy pleaded, Jennifer seemed hypnotized and ignored her. Needy could only watch her friend climb into the van. Right before the door shut, Jennifer's face turned blank and confused, sending a chill down Needy's spine. Alone, Needy returned home and called Chip to talk about the fire and Jennifer's disappearance. Suddenly, the doorbell rang, startling her. She was home alone. Afraid to hang up, she nervously went to answer the door, but no one was there. Thinking she imagined it, she ended the call. But just before heading upstairs, she heard a noise from the kitchen, summoning her courage. Needy went to check. Jennifer suddenly appeared behind her, covered in blood and looking monstrous. Needy asked what had happened. Jennifer didn't answer. She just gave a creepy smile and went to rummage through the fridge. She devoured the food like an animal. Needy tried to stop her, but she gagged as if something was stuck in her throat, then vomited a large pool of black liquid with something still twitching in it. Jennifer laughed again. Though terrified, Needy reached out to comfort her, but when she touched Jennifer's arm, it was ice cold and lifeless. Needy ran for the phone to call the police, but Jennifer stopped her. Jennifer asked if she was scared. Needy tearfully nodded. Jennifer leaned in, about to bite her, but the moment her lips touched the friendship necklace around Needy's neck, she paused then walked away. The next day, news of the fire spread through the town. Everyone thought Needy was in shock from barely surviving, but Needy remembered a promise they made as kids. Back then, Jennifer had cut her hand, and Needy had sucked the blood to comfort her. Now looking at Jennifer perfectly fine, no signs of last night's horror, Needy began to doubt herself. But the filthy mess in her kitchen and the bloodstains on her hands told her it was all real. Then a teacher came in with terrible news. Several classmates and teachers died in the fire. As everyone mourned, Jennifer couldn't stop laughing. One boy cried uncontrollably. His best friend had died in the fire. After class, he stood alone by the field, overcome with sadness. Suddenly, Jennifer approached him. She comforted him, then placed his hand on her chest. Moments later, she led him into the woods. They made out for a while, but soon, he looked up and was horrified. Animals had surrounded them without warning. As he panicked, Jennifer just smiled. His screams echoed through the forest. When he was found, he'd been ripped open. His mother collapsed in grief. His father swore vengeance. Meanwhile, the real killer, reborn from blood and flesh, emerged from the lake looking more radiant than ever. By the time she reached the shore, all the evidence had been washed away. There was nothing left to find. That night, Jennifer called Needy to gleefully share her excitement. When she heard Needy still mourning the fire, she coldly dismissed it as no big deal, while Jennifer lived in her own world. Chip called Needy. Unbeknownst to her, Jennifer was already up to something strange. This small town was once peaceful, but now, with death after death, everyone wore heavy expressions, except Jennifer, who, freshly replenished, looked stunning. But the energy didn't last long. Within a month, Jennifer visibly started to fade. Sensing her power waning, she set her sights on a new target. That's when Needy's friend Colin showed up. Shy and awkward, he tried talking to Jennifer. She didn't seem interested and later mocked him. Needy defended Colin, saying he was a good guy. Suddenly intrigued, Jennifer called him back and arranged to meet up that night. Her sudden change made Needy suspicious. That night, Colin went to the address Jennifer gave. The place was sealed up and looked like a haunted house. He wandered inside and found a candlelit room. Before he could question it, Jennifer appeared. She avoided his questions and started making out with him. Just as Colin lost himself, he was startled and backed away, getting cut in the process. The sight of blood excited Jennifer even more. Her seductive silhouette was a prelude to death, and the demon within her began its feast. At the same time, while on a date, Needy suddenly had a strange vision. She saw blood dripping from the ceiling. The boy who died before appeared, bloodied, with Jennifer crouched on his shoulder, smiling eerily, terrified. Needy cut the date short and drove home in a panic. Collapsing on the couch, she suddenly remembered the night Jennifer was taken away. That's when everything started. As she lay in bed, Jennifer appeared beside her. She ignored Needy's fear and whispered comfortingly that she wouldn't bite. But then she crossed the line. Needy was drawn in at first but quickly snapped out of it. Pushing her away and demanding answers, Jennifer casually began to explain what really happened that night. She'd started to regain consciousness in the van. Afraid they would assault her, she lied, saying she was a virgin, begging them to let her go. But that lie was exactly what they wanted. They had found a ritual online. If they sacrificed a virgin to the devil, their band would become famous. They tied Jennifer up and lit torches, even as she begged for her life. They didn't stop, singing as they raised the knife. They completed the ritual. As Needy listened, tears ran down her face. She finally understood why the band became overnight stars, worshipped like gods. They had used Jennifer's life as a stepping stone to fame. But Jennifer didn't really die, and the band didn't know if they sacrificed the wrong girl, the demon would inhabit her body, feeding on flesh to stay alive. When Jennifer awoke, she instinctively went to find Needy, but she couldn't explain what happened, nor could she hurt her, so she fled. Eventually, she found a classmate who'd survived the fire. That night, she claimed her first victim. As she told the story, Jennifer's expression stayed lighthearted, as if she'd forgotten the trauma of being murdered. But when she cut herself and showed Needy her wound healing instantly, the horror beneath her calm surface was revealed. Jennifer wasn't immune to pain. She had just endured so much that only by inflicting pain on others could she heal her own. After dying once, she no longer had any empathy for death. The new Jennifer always appeared cold and detached, but would get excited upon hearing about teachers dying in the fire. She called cremated remains roast piglets. With nowhere to vent the pain of being an innocent victim, she began reenacting the harm she once endured over and over on boys her age. Just like that band earned fame through her body that night, she now drew sustenance from their pain and fear to keep herself alive. It was only in front of victims who didn't survive that she could stop being a pitiful sufferer and become a powerful reborn entity. One day in class, the teacher praised the hypocritical band for all they had done to help the town after the fire. Only Needy questioned it while Jennifer stayed silent. Still young, she couldn't face the older, more famous predators, and could only let the pain seep deeper into her own wounds, not just on behalf of the dead but for their families, too. The next day, Needy went to Colin's funeral. His friends wrote poems in his memory, which only deepened his mother's heartbreak. Colin's mother tearfully expressed how much she missed her son. Her grief overwhelmed Needy, but she knew this wouldn't be the last funeral. At the school library, Needy found the full details of the ritual. She now understood that the demon had fused with Jennifer and that the only way to kill it was to stab her in the heart when she was at her weakest and hungriest. But could she really go through with it? Needy couldn't make up her mind. She calculated that Jennifer would strike again at the upcoming prom, so she went to Chip, told him everything, and warned him not to go. But Chip didn't believe her. The prom was the biggest night of the year for every student in town. That night, everyone dressed to impress, including a now starving Jennifer. She sat at her vanity table, staring at a smiling photo from the past, but her face was pale and gaunt. As she dabbed on foundation, her eyes filled with tears. When Needy arrived at the prom, she searched the crowd but couldn't find Jennifer or Chip. The only people she saw were the band, the very cause of it all, performing like honored guests on stage. Suddenly, she had a feeling and rushed out of the prom to look for Chip. At his house, she learned he had left 20 minutes ago. Panic gripped her. She asked which way he went and chased after him. She was right. Jennifer had lured him to an abandoned pool with lies that Needy had cheated on him. Just like before, Jennifer tried to seduce him, hoping to confuse him, then attack. But Chip resisted. When Needy heard the cries, she climbed into the abandoned pool just in time to see Jennifer on top of him. Summoning her courage, Needy leapt into the pool, shoved Jennifer away, and took the pepper spray from Chip's hand, blasting Jennifer with it. Once again, Jennifer vomited black water just like the night she died. Floating up into the air, she looked down and asked Needy why she was interfering. Needy shouted back, demanding to know why she was attacking Chip.
I am going to eat your soul and it out, Nicky!
Jennifer stopped. This kind of wound wouldn't kill her, but as she saw the blood pour from Chip's body, Needy's eyes filled with sorrow, as if trying to comfort her. Jennifer didn't strike again. She simply walked away in silence. After she left, Needy looked at Chip, who lay dying. He apologized for not believing her. He didn't have much time left. Within moments, he died in Needy's arms. Heartbroken, Needy lay in bed, staring at the photo album beside her, photos of her with Chip, and of her with Jennifer. That moment, she made her decision. From that day on, neither of them returned to school. Needy was waiting for Jennifer's strength to fade. That would be the best time to kill the demon. Finally, that night came. Jennifer was weak and hungry again. While watching a sports show, she flipped through the yearbook, picking her next target. She turned off the lights to go to sleep when Needy came crashing through the window. Fueled by rage, Needy lunged at Jennifer, or rather, the demon, and unleashed everything she had bottled up. Jennifer bit her hard. Breaking free, Needy pulled out a knife and slashed her. That pushed Jennifer over the edge. The demon's power surged, lifting them both into the air. As they struggled midair, Needy looked at the blood-stained necklace that symbolized their friendship. She yanked it off. As she crashed to the ground, Jennifer also dropped, her strength suddenly drained. Her expression shifted from fear to calm. The demon's powers no longer worked. In that moment, she seemed willing to die at Needy's hand. The ritual to kill the demon was complete. As her breathing stopped, Jennifer's face returned to normal.
Jennifer, what is it, baby? Oh my God. Oh God.
Exhausted, Needy collapsed beside Jennifer's body. The blood splattered across her cheek looked like tears. Needy turned her head. Now that the demon was gone, Jennifer's body was no longer a weapon. It was just the body of a childhood friend, a girl who had never been abused, never transformed, just a girl. I'm a movie enthusiast. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.